Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where and when you are watching us. Welcome to this stream. Today, we are going to be looking at IELTS vocabulary. My name is Luke, and this session is for Swoosh English and Connetics USA. Hi, Alice. Hi, welcome to the stream. Great to see you joining us today. So, without any more ado, let's get started. So today we are going to be looking at punishments. So we are going to look at a bit of vocabulary that you could use to discuss punishments, and we are also going to have a quick exercise to test how well you have understood some of that vocabulary. So why would we want to discuss punishment? Well, it can be quite useful in IELTS to discuss punishments. The first thing that is probably the most common usage is that it can help you offer solutions to problems. So every time you are talking about the law or ways that the government can control people's behavior, punishment is usually quite a common way that they do that. So yeah, it can be really helpful in some of these causes and solutions essays, especially if you're talking about problems with crime. You may have to discuss how effective different punishments are. So in lots of writing questions, they may offer a solution to a problem. It may be based on some kind of punishment, and you may have to discuss that. So it is really helpful if you know what the punishment is, firstly, and if you know some other alternative methods that could be used. And it's sometimes a topic in itself. In speaking, it's a bit more common in writing. Okay, so do you think different forms of punishment are acceptable? Good evening, Javid. Hi, welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you joining us. So let's jump in and have a look at a couple of different types of punishments. First up there, we have a fine that's being used as a noun. A fine is a sum of money that must be paid as punishment for breaking a rule or a law. Common fine at the bottom there, you've got an example. I got a parking fine for parking on double yellow lines. So somebody left their car where they probably should not have, and now they have to pay some money. Notice under the new law, motorists face heavy fines of up to £1,000. A heavy fine, very good collocation. So fines we describe not as high, but as heavy, a heavy fine. As you can see there, most of these definitions are coming from the Oxford Learners Dictionaries. You do have the web address at the bottom there, www.oxfordlearnersdictionaries.com. That is a really useful resource as you're building your vocabulary. So if you have words that you don't understand or want to check, that is a great place to do it. It does give you the pronunciation of the different words. You can choose to have the American English pronunciation or the British English pronunciation. So if you are trying to develop a certain accent, definitely check that out. Okay, so that is fine. Let's move on. A fine as a noun. Let's move on and look at the next word on our list. Good evening, Jovelyn. Lovely to have you joining us. And Kristan, coming from Saudi Arabia today, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Lovely to have you guys taking the time to come along and join us on the stream. So our next noun here, imprisonment. The act of putting somebody in prison or another place from which they cannot escape. It can also be used to describe the state of being there. Okay, so imprisonment is quite a common punishment in many parts of the world, in fact. Probably one of the most common for more serious crimes where a fine just isn't enough. Related words there we've got at the bottom, imprison, that's the verb. So you imprison somebody. Prison, that is a noun, that's talking about the place, and a prisoner, that is the noun as a person. So next on our list, capital as an adjective. Now, capital has lots of different meanings. when you're using it to talk about punishments, these are punishments involving death. For example, a capital offence is an offence or crime that carries a capital punishment. More common in some parts of the world than in others, and in the past it was used here in the UK, but we abolished capital punishments quite some time ago. Can't remember exactly when. I believe the 60s or 70s was the last form of capital punishment in the UK. Next up, we have corporal as an adjective of the body or bodily. So corporal suffering, suffering of the body. Now you'll notice here the definition for this one is from a different source, wordreference.com. It's not in the Oxford Learners Dictionary because that is for learners, and this is quite high level vocabulary. It's a bit less common being used as an adjective there. They do have an entry for corporal, but if I gave it to you, I would be giving away the answer for one of our examples later in the task. So I thought I would not give that to you directly. Welcome, Pauline. Pauline joining us from Botswana. Okay, lovely to have you join us. Welcome, Pauline. Thanks for taking the time to come along. So next up on our list is a curfew. A curfew is a law that says people must not go outside after a particular time at night until the morning. It could also be used to describe the time after which nobody must go outside. So in some parts of the world with coronavirus, one way that people may tackle coronavirus in some countries has been to impose a curfew, preventing people from going outside of out of their houses late at night. Examples here: the army imposed a dusk to dawn curfew. Notice the verb there, impose a curfew. Dusk, that is when it gets dark. Dawn, that is when it gets light. So a dusk to dawn curfew all night. And you must get home before curfew or you may be arrested. So if there is a curfew, probably best not to break it, otherwise you may be imprisoned. Okay, or you could be fined as well. So here we have 7 different co-locations, and alongside them on the right there we have a brief sentence giving the meaning or describing the different forms of punishment. So number 1, we have a fine. Number 2, life imprisonment. Okay, what could that mean? Number 3, capital punishment. Number 4, corporal punishment. It is an entry in the advanced Oxford Learners dictionaries. Didn't want to give it to you too directly. 5, community service. Okay, what could that mean? Service for the community. Okay, what could we have there? Number 6, a prison sentence, and number 7, a curfew order. So you may give, for example, misbehaving youths who hang around scaring old ladies by the bus stop and causing trouble, maybe doing some graffiti. They may get a curfew order. Okay, Claire-Lee joining us today as well. Welcome, Claire-Lee. Cams, yeah, okay, very good. Cams has already found one of our answers. Bert joining us from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Lovely to have you coming along, Bert. And Saman, good evening to you, Saman, and welcome to the stream. Couple of new names here, so that is really great to see. Welcome to everybody who is joining us for the first time, and also welcome to our regular listeners. So Cams is working through these quite quickly. Well done, Cams. Doing quite well as well. So everybody just jump into the comments over there on the right. As you find some of these answers, feel free just to type in your answers, see what you think. Cams is cruising ahead there. So well done, Cams. Hi, Jera. Hi, Gail. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you guys joining us. So try and match some of these different punishments to their meanings there. I'm expecting perhaps a couple of people are going to give all of the answers at once in the comment. Cam's doing them one by one and getting quite far. Very good, Cams. Yeah, well done, Alice. Alice has got number one. So I'll give you a couple more minutes to think about some of these, and then we will look at the answers. Oh, Cam's is almost finished there. Yeah, doing really well. Hi, Romy. Hi, great to have you joining us on the stream. Thanks for coming along. Oh, Alice got number two. Yeah, very good. Claire-Lee's got number 5. Yeah, well done, Claire-Lee. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think we had you on the speaking stream before. Yeah, well done, Jera. Really good, really good. So our students in the comments here are busily working away, and they are getting quite a few of these answers. So well done, guys. Hi, Pi. Welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you joining us. Alice is on number 3. Yeah, good. Yeah, and Cams has finished. Well done, Cams. Everybody's doing really well. So number 1, a fine. I think most people have got it. A fine there. Remember, fines to do with money. So number 1, we have F, money you have to pay as a form of punishment. That is a fine. Oh, that's no problem, Julie. Julie, you can actually fix that. If you go and hover over the button, it gives you the opportunity to change it. I did wonder why we had an angry face. Maybe somebody doesn't like the idea of punishment. Okay, just a simple mistake. You can fix it, Julie, if you go and hover over that button. So well done, guys. Yeah, most of our listeners have now finished. So let's look at some of these answers. Number 1, we have F, money that you pay as a form of punishment. That is a fine. 2, life imprisonment is usually the maximum prison sentence a court can issue. Whole life imprisonment is a bit more specific. Whole life imprisonment, you will be in prison until you die. In some countries, life imprisonment is a specific number of years. You might hear about people getting multiple life sentences. So how can somebody have 2 life sentences? It is a length of time, the maximum length that the court can issue. So number 3, capital punishment, sentencing a criminal to death, still in use in many parts of the world. In Europe, tends not to be used. I think it's actually not allowed in the European Union. Number 4, corporal punishment. Okay, remember, corporal, of the body, punishment of the body, a means of punishment that involves hitting someone. A bit less common, but some countries and states do use corporal punishment, punishment by beating. In the past as well, in schools in the UK and probably in many other places, they used to use corporal punishment. It was called the cane. So they would get a long cane made of bamboo or something like that. And if the children were naughty, they would hit them on the hand. Not allowed anymore. It may still be allowed in some parts of the world, though. Number 5, community service. Okay, working without pay to repay society. Community service, the sentence that is given is usually measured in hours. So you may receive 200 hours of community service if you have done something that isn't bad enough to warrant a prison sentence, but also maybe a bit more serious than just a fine. You also may get a community service sentence alongside a fine. Number 6, a prison sentence. Now notice the use of the word sentence there. I've used it a few times now. A sentence, this is the punishment order. So a perhaps slightly unusual word. You're probably used to using the word sentence to mean a collection of words between a full stop, between 2 full stops and the end of a sentence, starting with a capital letter. Another use of the word capital there as well. You can also use it to discuss a prison sentence, a life sentence, a capital sentence, the punishment that is imposed. And number 7, then, a curfew order, a punishment that tells people when they have to be at home. So curfews, if there is a loss of social disorder, if there are riots or other kinds of social or civil unrest, very often a government will impose a curfew and tell people they're not allowed outside at night. Okay, so we've got a number of different types of vocabulary. Very short, these sessions. Oh, just managed to scroll through that. Very short, these sessions. So I hope that was useful. Now you have a bit more vocabulary to talk about punishments. And thanks for joining us today. We hope to see you next time. So really great to see all you guys taking part in the stream, and really good getting those right answers. So well done, everybody. That's all from me for today. Pleasure to see you all again, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Next session of these will be on Tuesday at 2:30 UK time, Thursdays 4 p.m. UK time, and then we also have the speaking practice, where some of the students will get a chance for some feedback. That is going on tomorrow afternoon, so be sure to join us for that. These videos go to YouTube, so if you want to review the material, you can do it through YouTube. Go and check out the Swoosh YouTube channel, and you can find some other great videos there as well. You're welcome, Elena, Alice, my pleasure. Jera, Ahava, lovely to have you guys all joining us. Bert, you're welcome. Pauline as well. Yeah, you're welcome, Julie. Thanks for coming along. And remember, if you do accidentally send us an angry emote, you can actually change that by hovering over it, and it will let you change it to a like or a love heart. But then you might be angry thinking about punishments. So thanks for coming along, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.